Proposition 118. A particle in motion is a collection of subquantum waves in phase moving together until the macro world dictates a quantum particle is needed. Before that, like all waves, they try to move in 3 spatial dimensions. Thus, a wave, not a particle, goes through multiple slits and stays in motion until the macro world dictates a quantum event needs to take place. Proposition 119. Over the last century, our greatest minds discussed things like the EPR paradox and spooky action at a distance based on interpretations of the collapse of the wave function. There was one proposition made that I feel was prematurely dismissed. Science dismissed the idea of a 3-dimensional wave of energy that can propagate through spacetime but recoalesce at a point in space and time where and when a particle is needed. That dismissal may not have been warranted. Proposition 120. All the evidence points to a wave, not a particle, going through both slits, and instead of misrepresenting superposition to indicate a particle is in 2 places at once, we need to recognize that a particle is a collection of tiny waves of energy moving together and spreading out until the laws of physics or chemistry as we know them dictate a particle is needed. Proposition 121. If we accept that the laws of conservation of energy must be followed, then energy borrowed from the subquantum foam at the point a particle is required to manifest must be returned to the subquantum foam in an equal amount spread out across all the parts of the wave that ended up elsewhere. Proposition 122. There is no quantum weirdness because the collapse of the wave function holds no mystery. Entanglement is an easy-to-understand physical process directly governed by the laws of conservation. Every entangled property is due to a law of conservation, and that dictates that those properties must be set at the time a pair of particles becomes entangled. Proposition 123. When we accept the true nature of superposition, wave-particle duality, the role the subquantum realm plays in the probabilistic nature of quantum particles, and the wave function collapse, then we see hidden variables must be correct. Our understanding of the wave function collapse was flawed, thus conclusions drawn from experiments supporting John Bell's inequality are flawed at the core. Proposition 124. To claim hidden variables are wrong means that a particle whose entangled partner is measured could have its own property, one previously already set, automatically reverse without any physical process acting upon it. The absurdity we created by dismissing the subquantum waves of energy able to manifest at a single point as a particle cast a century of mysticism over our scientific community. But the time is finally here to break free. Proposition 125. I realize that we gave out Nobel Prizes in 2022 that backed up the work of John Bell, but any experiment that claims to dismiss hidden variables, properties set at the time particles are created, entangled through the laws of conservation, are using a flawed assumption to base conclusions upon. Proposition 126. When we grasp that particles in motion are collections of tiny waves of energy in phase, trying to spread out, able to coalesce at a specific point where the macro world dictates it needs a particle, then we end up with naturally occurring entanglement without any form of spooky action at a distance. Remove the assumption we found anything elementary, and the weirdness of quantum mechanics fades away. Proposition 127. Superposition does not mean a particle is in 2 places at the same time. It moves as a wave spreading out in spacetime, and subtle subquantum interactions, both repulsive and attractive, can guide where the macro world ends up seeing a particle. A probabilistic wave function is a prediction of a subquantum realm that creates our quantum fields and offers the elusive ether upon which electromagnetic waves can propagate upon.